Yeah, it looks terrible. I'm not sure. Just all kinds of issues. Just all kinds of issues. What's up, Kyle? Is the audio at least going through? We're mm, really annoyed with everything today. Let's make sure. So audio is going through, or does it sound terrible? I'm having so many issues. It's annoying. Ah, oh, man alive. Okay, hold on. Let me. How are we doing now? And it may be because I've got my AC on over there. It's just too hot today. And the camera's terrible. I'm trying to see if I can set myself up with. We'll see how this works. It's noisier now. Hold on one second then. Better then? Okay. Oops. How's that? Am I sounding better now? I'm not even going to talk about all the issues that we're dealing with today. Is it still echoing? You got a coaching at work in 5 minutes? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. All kinds of issues. I had to run a bunch of errands before getting online. Take Lady Prime to a lunching. Ollie was off school today, being President's Day. It was originally scheduled to be a bad weather day, but no bad weather this year. They didn't miss any days for that. So he got to go hang out with some friends at the same lunching. So pretty good. Uh, hello, everybody. I was about to say good morning because I'm so used to the Saturday thing going on now. So David's Comics and Kyle's here. Everybody, if you're watching this later on in the on demand, whatever, watching a replay of it, Kyle in the chat, my homie and my hype man. David's Comics and Wrestling here for just a few minutes. Hello, I'm here, but not for long. Got a coaching at work in 5 minutes. What does that mean exactly? Because when we do a coaching at work, it means someone's getting in trouble, or I guess I'm training. Super Russ 9000. Russ, I need to send you a couple of messages on Instagram. We talked about possibly getting together on Saturday for your fourth episode, or is it your fifth episode of going through your comic book collection? And I've got to go get my Adventure or Man of Steel books in order for that. Oops. Just had a bird fly into the garage and hang out with me. Well, so where I work last night, there was a bird flying around. It got in the building, and I really don't know how they're going to get that bird out. Weekly meeting with supervisor to go over stats happens every Monday at this time. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, like that's kind of like the jargon in working now. They don't want it to be like manager and stuff like that. They want it to be like a team-based environment. So they use terms like we have a coach and you're going to go through a coaching and stuff like that. And I don't know. I get it. I get it. It just I'm used to supervisor and manager and stuff like that. Sounds like you work at the same corporation as my wife. Are we talking about me or are we talking about David? Oh, David. Okay. What's up, Tony? Oh man, how's it going? Good to see you in the chat. I think that's the first. I'm not sure I've seen you. So, oh, 6 thumbs up already. I appreciate it, guys. Um, yeah. Oh, coach and team leads. Maybe onto something, Kyle. I'm kind of keeping it hush hush, but yeah, it can all be done via email. You'll notice that a lot of things like that can be done in much simpler terms and much simpler ways. But yeah, everybody telling everybody hello. That's awesome. Um, man, I appreciate it. So I had all kinds of grand designs for this episode today or this hangout. Oh man, I got Manny, the hobgoblin collector, in the house. All right, headed to the airport. Hi to everyone and sending blessings, positive vibes to everyone. Uh, I respect Manny because he even throws it in his name, the hobgoblin collector. You know, to be a niche collector like that is pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. I figured now two birds. Um, you got them birds. Um, everybody telling everybody hi. Yeah, definitely. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Um, I had a good one. I just feel like mine ended too soon. Got my 2 nights off and back on my 5 nights in a row. Went in last night. I was the only supervisor over my area there. There was another supervisor there, so um, supervisor or team lead. Uh, there was another one there as well. So I wasn't completely by myself, but it didn't run as smooth as I would have liked. Or just like I walked into a situation where I had a lot to do and a lot to catch up on. But I got most of my work taken care of tonight. I'll have to catch up on the backlog. So yeah, definitely it'll be a flock soon if you keep if you if you make it a friendly environment for them. So yeah, Kyle, the Defenders collector. Ah, okay, all right, all right. So we got a Hobgoblin collector and we got a Defenders collector. Everybody knows that I definitely am a Superman collector, Superman fanboy. Silver, Tony Russ, David Beverly. Well, everybody, awesome. Yes, Kyle, also the bird collector. So yes, definitely safe travels, Manny. Uh, I'm not a big airport guy or flying guy. Definitely afraid of heights when it comes to having nothing to be attached to. I can climb a tall ladder. I can be on a tall building and look down. Fine there. But flew to Vegas back and forth. Flew from Corpus Christi, Texas to Houston, Texas. And I also flew in a four-seater like commuter plane. And on those you can feel the plane kind of you're not bouncing up and down, only you're going sideways with the wind and stuff like that. Um so um yeah, that one's probably the scariest, but it's also the one I handled the best. It's my most recent flight. So yeah, are you guys going through a remodel update too? No, we have been supposedly have been on the remodel, remake, update, whatever list since 2020. But as you know, lockdowns happen, COVID happened, and it's just been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So whenever that happens, yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, a puddle jumper, yes. Coaching time, going mute, have fun. All right, David, we'll see you. Hopefully you're able to get out and we're still on. But yeah, puddle jumper. Yeah, I was. All right, so I've done a little bit of filming in my lifetime. More on that and later. I'm not sure, not later today, but later on one of these streams, something like that. We'll kind of talk about it. But I was filming a short for a friend, and so it was a friend's first time to get in. He was going to be, director, cameraman, and my character in this little short, whatever, mini film, whatever you want to call it, was supposed to be a rich guy, and he had his own plane, and so that's what I flew for my own plane. Apparently, not full on rich, where I was flying, something bigger than that. But yeah, so we were able to get that filmed, get that scene shot. The guy flying it let go of his will and he said, "Here, you take the controls." I was not prepared for it. So I did a little bit of panicking there. Can't do heights well myself. Yeah. So after flying from Vegas back and forth, I mean, for like maybe a 6-month period, I would wake up in the middle of the night, kind of a panic attack, feeling feeling like I was floating into the sky. Not my best moments for sure. We were stuck on the runway at McCarran, the Vegas airport, for about an hour to an hour and a half. For whatever reason, I don't know what the delay was, but apparently when we took off, we were flying too close or close enough to the plane ahead of us that took off that we were catching its jet stream, and so we did one of those big kind of, it felt like a dive, not nose, nose dive, but just a, and a lot of turbulence. They announced over the PA that we were hitting that planes or jets, whatever you want to call it, jet stream. I panicked, started drinking my soda real fast, eating the ice. Don't know why. And when we landed, I was wearing a black shirt because I knew I was going to have some armpit sweat going on. And when we landed, my armpit sweat was all the way up here to my pecs. And yeah, so not fun. I have not done any gaming lately. It has been about a week and a half now. I did a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild stream. Not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before. I was going to get on Saturday and play some Elden Ring. I kind of want to restart Elden Ring. I have it on my PS4, a save, but I was like, no, you know what, PS5, let me just start from scratch. So we will see about that. Also need to go back to God of War. Now I've never streamed my God of War gameplay, but I do want to go back to that because I do want to complete that game. I had to do a puddle jumper hops from OKC to Dallas a few times. Got a friend down that way that's a pilot. Stunt double for Jack Black and Bernie. Oh, is Bernie the movie where he is taking care of that lady, but he's also running a big member of the church? Because if it was, where I live, they came down that same day we were filming that short I was talking about. People were pull up to where we were filming. They'd ask, "Are you guys with Jack Black's crew? Are you guys with Jack Black's crew?" We had no idea what was going on. Well, there's a prison here where I live, and Jack Black was filming at that prison that same day we were filming. So small world, Kyle. What a coincidence that you'd mentioned that. Used to do backflips out of airplanes with parachuting. That's amazing. Hats off to you. Let me show. I had my fro going on earlier. It was about this high. Settled down wearing the cap, but man, hats off to you for doing that. My cousin's sister. She's not related to me. Half sister, whatever. She's a parachuter. So yeah. There's probably a better term for that escapes me at this moment. But yeah. Just your average geeks in the house. What's up, Prime? Hey, Chad. How's it going? Good to see you. I assume this is Dave. I assume that's Dave. I know there's kind of a few of y'all that rotate through that channel. Yeah, definitely, Kyle. That's pretty impressive. Let's see what we got going on. Yes, so that's what I'm playing. I'm playing God of War Ragnarok, and I got through the part where I guess you climb the tall wall. So I've actually entered Ragnarok. Was it man? I can't even think of his name. Is it Atreus or Loki? I've entered there with him, and so that was about 2 weeks ago. The last time I played it. So man, the game's awesome. I wasn't sure how I would like it because I'd never played any of the God of Wars. It makes me want to go back and jump into some of the older ones. The Bernie, yeah. So I watched Bernie years later, and I was telling Lady Prime, we were watching. I said, explain the situation going on. So, uh, yeah, I should probably diet because I definitely got some clown hair going on. Swish rips in the house. Oh man, what's up, man? It's good to see you in the chat. Definitely, definitely. Oh, so it is Dave. Oh, okay, awesome, awesome. Uh, I was going to do a solo flight because I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. Because today was a holiday for Lady Prime and Ollie. When I got home, didn't sleep like I normally do, and so I do need to get some sleep before work. So I tell you what, Kyle, if I call it audible, I'll let you know. But solo flight so far. What's up, Trev? Good to see you, Trev. And Trev, you posted a smile, a picture of you smiling on Instagram, and I thought to myself, I was like, that smile has been on his face for a whole week because of the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. So I was able to do backflips on the trampoline for about a week. Then I hit my head once and was never able to do it again. Was that a fear thing or was that a brain damage thing? And I'm not trying to make light of the situation. I've had some trampoline mishaps myself. Killer clown hair. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to get that and got to get the makeup done. Ollie wants to, or Lady Prime had in mind that we were going to be a Bigfoot family this year. We're all going to dress up as Bigfoots. But I kind of want to call on audible on it and have us all dress up as killer clowns this year because Ollie's really gotten into it in the past few months. So, yeah, you see, yeah, for sure. It's going to be a while before that smile's able to wipe off your face. Out of fear, yes, definitely. Okay, so my friend had a trampoline and had recently just gotten him into wrestling. This is 98. Just got him into wrestling. And so show up at his house. My girlfriend at the time is with me, and he gets this bright idea that he's going to show up all his wrestling moves and put me down in front of her. And he did the scariest belly to back suplex I've ever had in my life, or German suplex, I guess, whatever. All I know is I don't know how I got up and walked away. It kind of reminded me of one of those New Japan Pro Wrestling suplexes where the guys, I mean, they take it, upper back shoulders, but it looks really, really scary. It looks really dangerous. That's how I took that belly to back suplex, and I never have handled a trampoline the same way since. Let's see. Yeah, everybody telling everybody hi. That's awesome. So glad you guys have are here hanging out with me, hanging out with each other in the chat. I appreciate it. I was telling Lady Prime, I'm going to end my videos with I'll see you guys in the chats because that's kind of, it's just an awesome thing that you get to do with this community. Yeah, the Killer Clowns. He is definitely in love with the Killer Clowns. I don't know. He's not really into horror movies, but he took off on that one. Here for the ride to work. Bottom tier, what's up, man? So I saw you got a little bump in subs, jumping in on Brian LCS's chat. So awesome. I tried to get you to 100, but I was unsuccessful in that. I did enjoy that. I saw so many people commenting on your channel commercial because that video is amazing. Awesome. I didn't get to watch it all the way. I did see the toy vid you were talking about, playing with your toys with your son and doing a video. So I did see a lot of people, or did see some comments that they definitely dug that. I did see that Tim commented on that too. So man, awesome. Glad you got to do that with your son. Harry and the Hendersons all day. Yes. Maybe we should do that. I tell Ollie that I'll be the dad. He can be Harry, even though he's a little short. We'll see. Better not be talking mess. No, not talking mess. Just letting them know I didn't get any sleep today because it was not the normal routine. So how's it going over there, Lady Prime? The chat bot's awesome. Oh, awesome, Trev. Yeah, if you can do that, appreciate it. I know bottom tier says he's not all about the sub life and but I do think he puts out some pretty awesome content. So I want as many people to be able to see it as possible. So awesome. Orlando Flores in the house. Awesome. Love that little picture there. That's fantastic. Bottom tier, shout out if you feel like it. I'm here for friends, not subs. Last week I put in work. Yeah, man, you were pretty active last week. I know you did. Now I don't know. This may be a span of 2 weeks, but I know you did Trev's 10 questions. I don't know if it was his third round or his second round. I saw that. You talked about Booster Gold, so pretty awesome with that. And then I know you did the toy vid. I think there's one more that I'm missing. But I kind of watched it off and on while I was at work, or mainly listened to it. So I do want to go back and check it out. You don't belong. Not in the chat. You're talking about where you're at. I got you. If you went out as if you went out as Adam and Eve, would Lady Prime or would Lady be your prime rib? It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Rolando and everyone else who's joined in, working and lurking right now. Awesome, bottom tier. Awesome, David. Awesome. So my plan was to talk about an episode of Raw today, and I never posted what episode it was. And then I thought about possibly talking about the Elimination Chamber Saturday night. So Saturday night, I popped in on Super Russ's live stream or his reaction stream, which was good times. Definitely fun. Look at Tony, man, awesome, man. I appreciate that. I need to go sign in under the chat and smash my thumbs up as well. Yeah, see, Trev, yeah, or bottom tier. Trev's in the same boat. He's not about that sub count. Neither am I. I will not. I will say that I do get a little discouraged whenever I feel like, hey, why isn't it bumped up? But I've got to remind myself that's not why I'm here. Just here to have fun. This is an creative / just a fun outlet for me. So I've got to remind myself of that sometimes, because you can get swept up in that when you see everybody doing this giveaway and this giveaway. So, but yeah, man, it never hurts. Never hurts to throw some extra eyeballs on, because you never know who you might meet by that, and then you gain some new friendships. So that's why I always say, hey, man, shout people out and do all that. So Monday Night Raw, awesome. So I'm not sure what's going on tonight. As far as Raw, Raw means war. I meant to check into Russ's Elimination Chamber stream. Yeah, it was fun. I didn't join on camera, just in and out of the chat. I actually fell asleep during the ladies' Elimination Chamber match. Not that was not good content in that match, just that I had hit my wall for the day, dozed off maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then from there, I was able to stay up and finish the pay-per-view. I did have to leave at one point to go pick up Ollie, and that was the end of the men's Elimination Chamber match into the beginning of the Sami Zayn match, which, if you guys are, you walk that fence, you don't know which side, if you are a wrestling fan or not a wrestling fan, I do recommend, if you have the Peacock network or the streaming service, check out the Elimination Chamber and fast forward it just to the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns match. That was an amazing match. The crowd, just what an awesome feeling that was. I wish I was there live. It's one of those shows where you watch and then you wish you were there live, just because of the atmosphere of that event. So yeah. Yeah, man, I'm more of a WWF fan than a WWE fan. So I didn't say that, bottom tier. It's just what happened. But yeah, I will say this, and Lady Prime busted me. Carmella, if you guys are aware of who she is, she was looking pretty spectacular that night. So yeah. But yeah, I do recommend the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns match. I did want to talk about it, but I didn't announce it on this stream, so I'm not gonna say who won or whatever. If you kind of have some fall into wrestling, you more than likely know who won. But man alive, I once again say, what an atmosphere! What an atmosphere! It was almost on par with when I attended WrestleMania 30, just how everybody was fully on board for Daniel Bryan with the yes chants, almost like the time that the Brawl was in Seattle. and Daniel Bryan's hometown. That crowd was crazy. Really reminded me of the Money in the Bank 2011 when CM Punk was wrestling John Cena in the main event. I mean, it was his hometown, and just that atmosphere. A crowd fully behind one guy is pretty awesome. I have Peacock for the WCW and ECW library. I know, and that's why I kind of have mentioning it. Like, you're already paying for it, you're already supporting them. I say go check out that match. I enjoyed it. Some people said it was overbooked, but when you have an atmosphere like that, you have to overbook it. It's got to have false finishes, and yeah, such great storytelling, and that whole bloodline storyline. Yes, it is. And so, I'm trying not to spoil the match too much, but I don't want to say the storyline has fully led to Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, because to me, that portion of the storyline definitely led to that. But to me, the storyline will come full circle if it ends up with Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, because that's kind of where the Tribal Chief storyline began. And it's like, I need Jey Uso to fully break away from the tag team at some point. I know it's his brother and all that, and face Roman Reigns again. Let that story come full circle. It'd be awesome. Yeah, the World Wildlife Foundation. That's why I'm upset that the WWF can't use that name anymore, or that. Carmella reminds me of a younger Lady Prime, and I tell her that all the time. It's very similar facial features from Lady Prime's younger days. But yes, I agree, Trev. That is it's a beautiful lady. Bottom tier, I got a buddy who called me to talk about Elimination Chamber. I humored him to be a good friend, even though I'm Team AEW. Now, look, I'm Team AEW, and I'm getting that pay-per-view. And look, Lady Prime calling it out. Actually, Russ told me in his stream, he said, you better not say that out loud. And I let him know that Lady Prime already called me out on it. So, but yes, definitely Team AEW. Doesn't mean I can't enjoy both products. And as I said, I don't watch WWE the way I used to. I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. I'll try to catch a replay if I see Lady Prime watching it. I'll sit in on it. But pay-per-views, I will try to watch, because those shows are mostly wrestling based. I don't necessarily need storylines, whatever. But if I can see some good matches, like I still enjoy the talent of certain stars that are there in AEW. Like, I do enjoy Roman Reigns' heel character, this Tribal Chief character. It is some top-notch stuff. I think it is one of the best characters in the last 20 years for sure. At least one of the best characters since the Attitude Era. I'm a fan of Sami Zayn's in-ring work, because I thought his NXT run was amazing. In fact, I want to go back to 2014 NXT and kind of just do a rewatch of that, because, man, there was so much. What do you want to say, from 2014 to about 2016, 17, 18, where NXT was just top notch all around. So I want to go back and do a rewatch of that, because I did miss a lot of those, the NXT TV. I would watch the takeovers, but just to go back and watch that period would be cool. Money in the Bank, awesome. Missed that. I believe, is Money in the Bank taking place overseas this year? I believe it's going to be a big pay-per-view in London. I know they're doing a pay-per-view there. I believe it's Money in the Bank, though. If anybody knows, they can correct me. I don't mind being corrected. Let the dishes soak. I know. I need that shirt, Neil. I appreciate it. Dishes are soaking at the moment. Oh, you missed that error. Got you. And Neil makes his way to the ring. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Neil, I finally turned my PS5 on for the first time in like 2 or 3 weeks. So I need to download that game you were telling me about. Back for Blood, I believe it is. Super Russ, got your PS5, so let's get on it too. Trev, I don't watch the new stuff, but once a week at a buddy's house, we're always watching old stuff. Beginning of the NWO and WCW right now. Yeah. So when I got the network originally, WWE Network, of course, now it's Peacock. That was one of my things to do, was to go back and watch WCW from Nitros on, just because I was more WWF then. I would catch the replays when I could, but I was still, high schooler in school, and the replays were late. Should have been asleep. Most times I was not, but if I missed anything, I kind of wanted to rewatch that era of WCW. What I did enjoy about WCW at that time, and I know a lot of people talk about there being too many belts in wrestling, was their cruiserweight division and their TV titles. Like, I love the TV title because it would spotlight, some of the lower card guys, but that belt kind of floated around for a while. And I don't know, sometimes they say, longer reigns make the belt better, but I enjoyed the title, jumping around. I always enjoyed it when the TV title would kind of cross into the cruiserweight division as well. Everybody telling everybody hi. Awesome. Is a female peacock a oh, is that a George Carlin joke? Fantastic. Right on, brother Trev, especially the New World. Yeah, man. The New World Order was something spectacular. Definitely missed that. That nothing will beat the Monday Night Wars. That was just such a fun period of time because you could go back and forth. And they would. I don't think it would ever happen again where two shows would run on the same night. Just because you're competing and the ratings, you don't want to split the pie, but the pie grew into the point where you almost had two pies. So maybe that is the way to go. Who knows? I could totally see it ending with Jay and Roman. I feel like it needs to. I feel like it needs to just to complete that storyline. But who knows? Maybe I'm thinking differently than how they're seeing the story go. But to me, that's where it began. Let's let it end there. Lady Prime, if them dishes are not washed, get yourself a t-shirt ordered. So if you guys aren't familiar or you don't know, Neil said that anytime I don't do the dishes, Lady Prime should order a new wrestling shirt. We did film her second video this weekend of her, wrestling t-shirt collection. We've got 30 more shirts coming up. I'm probably going to do it the same way. There will be two cuts of it. I'll do a shorter one, where it's mainly showing the shirts. And then I'll do another one where it is more the banter between us in case you guys like that. That video, the longer one, has more views. Both videos, it shows that it has a short duration time, which whatever, but the longer cut has the more views. So I was like, well, I'll stick with that one. Lady Prime pushed for that because she says when she likes to go on YouTube, she likes the longer videos because she doesn't like to have to constantly mess with her phone. She just wants something to listen to. And so that's why I'm going to continue with that. I'm the world's saltiest wrestling fan lately. No, you're part of the toxic wrestling fan community, bottom tier. Yeah, look at Neil getting me in trouble and Kyle pointing that out. Oops. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get to Lady Prime's comment. I almost ordered some last night, Neil. Oh, yeah, because was it Saturday night or last night? They had a 40% off. And I actually found that out because of Super Wrestling. He was showing the belts. Belts are expensive. 40% off. Those belts are still expensive. It's ridiculous. You order them, Lady Prime. Go ahead. Look at that, Neil giving the okay. Definitely shirt collection. Enjoyed watching them. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I mean, all around her wrestling figures, quite large. Her shirt collection is large. In this next video, we're going to show some shirts that aren't necessarily dedicated to like a particular wrestling company or a particular wrestler, but they are wrestling related shirts. And we kind of got into a discussion about that, just how it's still a wrestling shirt and it's part of her collection. So. Yeah, right, Neil. I would never hear the end of it. Yeah. Neil is chair shotting Prime in the chat right now. Yeah, he's chair shotting me in a particular region, bottom tier. I would never hear the end of that. Oh, thanks, Trev. Trev, don't watch Jeff Jarrett NWO 2000. Easy to see why they tanked. That was the silver and black edition of the NWO. That was Jeff Jarrett. I think Bret Hart was supposed to be a part of that, and the Outsiders, and there was just way too much going on during that time period. I mean, they had already beat that horse to death. So, always loved the lower tier belts more. the Intercontinental title for the win. Yeah. So especially during the early '90s, I was more of a IC title belt because um, my stepdad came around that time, 90, 91. Well, actually 1990, because I can remember he rented SummerSlam 1990, and he was the first guy I ever saw that was cheering on the heel wrestlers, and so he was really a fan of Mr. Perfect, and he got me into Mr. Perfect. I'm trying to hide these wings, but I guess it ain't gonna happen. He was a huge fan of Mr. Perfect, and in turn, I became a huge fan of Mr. Perfect. And so Mr. Perfect with the IC title, losing it to the Texas Tornado, regaining it, losing it to Bret Hart, who was my favorite, and then from there. So awesome. David's Comics and Wrestling. Without spoiling the show too much, David, because I do have some that I told they should check it out, especially for the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns match. I didn't get to see your video, and I know you kind of said you were going to do a live stream and perhaps talk about Elimination Chamber. What are your thoughts on Elimination Chamber? I thought it was a great pay-per-view, even though I did fall asleep during the ladies' Elimination Chamber match. That's not on them. That was on me being tired. But I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I thought every match pretty much delivered. Lady Prime, what I do if I want to buy something, I buy the wife something too, and it stops all the nagging. Bloodline Civil War. Yeah, man, I'm waiting for it. I still think that storyline needs to end with Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, just to begin, how it began. Let it end there. And it'll come full circle. I think that'd just be the best storytelling. Look at that, Neil and David. So you guys are able to talk in my chat, but you can't comment on each other's videos. Is that still going on? All right, extended version for the win. Well, thanks, Russ. I appreciate it. Maybe I should just release the extended version. I don't know. Oh, sorry. David Comics and Wrestling. I ordered 2 new shirts the other day. Going to have to do a shirt video. Now, did you order them when they had the 40% off? Because that's a pretty good deal. Of course, shirts are so expensive now. Anyways, it's almost like paying for a shirt like you did back in the day. Got to get the credit card debt down. Then I'm going the Ted DiBiase route, buying a championship. Yeah, I too got to get some credit card debt down. I'm glad that March, because really, really went overboard. November, December, Christmas spending. I'm glad March is the month where I get 3 paychecks, and I get one that first week of March. So I'll get to dedicate a paycheck towards knocking out that credit card debt. Yeah, bottom. It was done by then. I was on to WWF. Oh yeah, man, that Silver and Black NWO. This should have just created a new group and called it something else. But I guess their thinking was they had a name brand already. Trev, he never likes the stuff I get him, so I might as well buy myself double. It was Neil, babe, that said that. She's talking about this cowboy shirt she got me. Now this cowboy shirt was the it's not that I don't like her stuff, but I opened my big mouth. So she got me this Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl shirt, right? It was a Super Bowl 27 shirt, and it was those big heads. If you guys remember back in the 90s, they had the small body, but the big heads. Cool. I was really, really excited to see that shirt. And then I noticed something. I noticed it was Super Bowl 27. I'm like, okay, that's Troy. That's Emmett. Why is Deion Sanders here? And I was really, really upset that this shirt company made this shirt and had the wrong players, because Deion Sanders wasn't there for Super Bowl 27. He was there for Super Bowl 30. Deion Sanders was still a Falcon at that time. He would join the 49ers when they won Super Bowl when the Niners won Super Bowl 29, join the Cowboys the next year when they won Super Bowl 30. So I was upset that she paid so much for this shirt and they couldn't even make a correct shirt. And then she took it as I didn't appreciate her gift. So I opened my mouth and got in trouble. The European Championship was my jam. Owen versus Bulldog is on my all-time favorite match list. So that episode of Raw, that's an overseas Raw, right? A pre-taped Raw. That match. So I showed that match to an ex-girlfriend, telling her how great this match was. I believe it is on the Raw 15th anniversary 3-day set. And she's like, this match, it's too choreographed. It seems too fake, too choreographed. And I just I was flabbergasted because that match was so awesome. I'm like, no, they're countering each other's holds. They were a tag team at the time. They know each other so well. They're countering each other's moves. So yeah, that is that's definitely one that you could put on that list of like best underappreciated matches for sure. Not that many people know that. Also on that underappreciated list, and I saw this because if you guys aren't following on Instagram, a wrestling historian, he was highlighting this match. Took place in 2006. Kurt Angle versus Undertaker. No Way Out 2006. That is an underrated match. It's not one that I always hear people talk about, but it is. It should have been a WrestleMania match that year, but it is definitely a match that could easily enter your top 25 greatest matches of all time list. That's how good that match is. Kevin Nash, Brooklyn, the band is back together. Yeah, it was towards the tail end. After I get the PS5 paid off, I'm going after that Winged Eagle Championship with the white strap. Nice, nice. Loved Brett and Owen. Yes, Brett versus Owen. I mean, that's who couldn't fall in love with that storytelling? You know, the brotherly rivalry. Genius move to have Brett versus Owen open WrestleMania 10 and have Brett lose. So then you automatically create your number one contender when Brett wins the title later in the night. David Comics and Wrestling insists that Brett should have won the title at that year's SummerSlam. Owen should have won the title of that year's SummerSlam. I'm not necessarily opposed to that idea, even though I was a huge Brett guy. I was cheering it on. I was so worried during that match that Brett was going to lose. So during this time period of WWF, we didn't order pay-per-views, but we saw all the pay-per-views. So somehow we had this like 4-inch by 4-inch black and white TV that you could, tune in. And we had a cable box and we put it on it, and my mom would watch TV on it. One day, I said, you know what? I need to see. I was like, man, because we were able to tune in some other channels. I said, I'm going to see if we can tune in the pay-per-view. And so Royal Rumble 1994, there I am. And I was able to tune in the pay-per-view. And from then on, it was on for about a 2-year stretch. And then after that, we were ordering pay-per-views. But for a 2-year stretch, we were watching pay-per-views on this black and white 4-inch by 4-inch TV. Amazing times. That's how I watched WrestleMania 10 and saw the ladder match. Montez Ford was made after the men's elimination chamber match. So yeah, I heard a lot of people were upset that he did not win and I'm sorry, I just spoiled it. But that he did not win that match. So I don't know. I've got to go back and watch that one. I had to leave to go pick up Ollie. Ollie was at his at my mom's house playing with his cousin, so needed to go pick him up because he does not like to stay the night at my mom's house. He says he doesn't feel safe. He'd rather be here. So, hey, can't fault the kid for that. Super Russ 9000 sounds like a gorgeous belt. Yeah, it is. I think he posted it on his Instagram. If you want to take a quick look at that, that is a beautiful belt. I will get the one with the black strap just because Hogan and Brett, Sean wearing it with the black strap. But I can understand why you get it with the white strap. I wouldn't mind getting it with the turquoise strap, like Ultimate Warrior style. Or I think he had a purple one at the time, at one point too. No, you unblocked David. Yeah, it's definitely a thing of beauty. It does look good on White Russ. The black strap wing was such a classic. Yeah. I never knew that about Dion. Thanks for the history, Prime. Oh, man, yeah. So, and then if you go back and you go watch some highlights from the, I think it's the 95 season. I don't remember. It's the anniversary season. There were a lot of throwback jerseys wore that year. I think it's the 75th anniversary of the league. Dion signs with the 49ers. 49ers versus Falcons. They were division rivals at the time. They were both in the NFC West. NFC West. How Atlanta was NFC West, whatever. But first matchup, Dion and Andre Rison just exchanging hands, throwing punches. Man, just something about them classic NFL back then. Trev, I do have to ask, have you been a Chiefs fan your whole life? The big gold belt is definitely on my list of championships to get one day. Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of like you, Russ. If I'm able to get more than one belt, number one, Winged Eagle. Number two, the big gold belt. I had the big gold belt once, bought it at WrestleMania 26, was strapped for cash when I started dating my now wife, so sold it to pay for a. Did you finish that thought? A date. um, got it at WrestleMania 26, and you have a picture from WrestleMania 26, don't you? Do you have two belts in that picture on your Instagram? That's so awesome. You and I were in the same building, and then years later we run into each other on YouTube. So awesome. Sabu versus Rob Van Dam at Hardcore Heaven 1996. That's a match. My favorite Rob Van Dam match. Did he wrestle Lance Storm before Lance Storm was a name at one of the earlier pay-per-views for ECW? I did enjoy that, and I did enjoy Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. Actually, Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn was one of the matches that I helped get that friend into wrestling back in the day. Owen should have won and dropped the title to Diesel that year. That's right. I forgot because Brett dropped the title to why can't I think of his name? Bob Backlund in that submission match. We had to throw in the towel. That pay-per-view was at the Alamo Dome, and I remember getting this piece of. We got this mail. We got this letter in the mail one day, and it's the only time I've ever received it before a pay-per-view in San Antonio. I was subscribed to the WWF magazine at the time, so I don't know if that's why we got it. And it was an offer to buy 4 ringside seats for the 1994 Royal Rumble. I remember it vividly. It was this yellow paper. I don't know if it was the Alamo Dome selling these seats. I don't know if it was WWF selling these seats. They were worried about, selling out that pay-per-view or what. And was it at the Alamo Dome or was it the Freeman Coliseum? I don't even remember now. But I do remember getting this piece of mail that you would be able to get, the front row tickets and you get to take your chair home or whatever. But sadly, at the time, my family was not in a position to go to a wrestling pay-per-view. Disappointed because that would have been my first show. But then on the other hand, I wasn't excited to see a Survivor Series. By that point, Survivor Series had become one of my least favorite shows just because it wasn't the same as like 1990, 91 Survivor Series. With the mega teams that would form. So I wouldn't go to a show. My first show would be WWF Superstar tapings in 96. There would be a Raw in San Antonio, which some of my classmates went to, but I went to the Superstars tapings in 96. In the build, it was a March 96. It was the build up to WrestleMania 12. And so I believe if you watch WrestleMania 12, they show a little package of Stone Cold versus Savio Vega. There was a tag team tournament. Razor Ramon got suspended, so Savio Vega needed a partner. They were going to do a random drawing. Stone Cold Steve Austin was his partner drawn. In that tag team match, Steve turns on Savio. They have some miscommunication, turn each other. So that little clip was shown at WrestleMania 12, and for years, that was the only clip I had seen of that show I went to because by that point, the channel that used to show Superstars wasn't showing it anymore, so I never saw any of the matches from that taping on TV. Finally, it's been added to to Peacock now, so I can go back to those 96 shows and catch it. So it's pretty cool. There is also a untelevised series of matches, and I don't know where to find it on Peacock. I had seen it when it was on the network. I believe it's still on Peacock. There's a Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels match. Got no commentary during it, but that was also on that same show I went to in Corpus. Yeah, that's a good reason to sell it. And it paid off. So Alex Big Blue in the chat. Hello, Alex. Good to see you. What a diehard wrestling fan watches matches on a 4x4 screen. Black and white. Black and white. Ooh. You got $50 for that. Oh, man. I don't want to laugh too hard because it paid off. You said, you were, for a date. It paid off. Paid off. Just think about that $350 investment and what it turned into. So, but I can see why looking back, you probably cringe a little bit. Everybody telling everybody hello. Love it. Glad you guys can have a place to hang out for this hour. was only planning on going an hour. And actually, I wasn't even planning on going this long. Like I said, I didn't sleep beforehand, and now I feel bad that Kyle had asked if I was going to be a solo show, but I wasn't sure how long I was going to come on for. Montez wasn't going to live. Liv Morgan looked good too. Now, when you say looked good, do you mean in the ring wise, or do you mean the way I was describing Carmella earlier in this chat? And I told Bottom Tier when I was in his stream, which I think you popped in for a second just to say hi and you had to get out. I was telling, not Bottom Tier, I was telling Super Russ in his stream, his reaction stream, that I hope that Carmella was a little heavier that night. Yes, I agree, man. Razor Ramon should have had a run with that title. I'm not sure if he was one of the ones that just didn't want to be champion. I still, it angers me that Shawn didn't want to be champion during his second WWF run. He had the 1 month reign with the big gold belt, but he never wanted to be the world champion again. Well, I wanted him to be the world champion so bad, but he didn't. Agreed. Bottom Tier. Razor should have been world champ at least once. Yes, I agree. All right, Russ, man. Have a great day. Appreciate you showing up. Thanks for the support. And like I said, I got to message you on Instagram because in addition to that page punchers I'm sending you, I am sending you some books, and then I'll get in touch with you about Saturday. At some point Saturday, I've got to get with Russ. But if you guys want to head to his live stream, we're going to be doing his where he shows off his comic book collection. He picks out a short box and shows it off. He said he doesn't have that many issues of the Man of Steel, so it was going to be a quick episode. And I was in the stream at the time when he asked if I wanted to pop in, so I'll appear there. We'll get an hour stream out of it, Russ. But Saturday at some point, so I'm sure he will post that on Instagram and in his community tab. And hope to see you guys there. Once again, I will be going live the hour before Breakfast with Brian. I'll do that again this week. It seems to be a pretty cool hangout. I'm going to have to get with some of you guys to figure out how Brian does the hashtag giveaway, because I do need to do a giveaway. I believe he goes to a website. Is it a comment tracker or something like that? And figure out how to do that, because I've been meaning to do that. And I realize I'm like 4 or 5 weeks in without doing anything. So may have to do multiple giveaways. But just like I was talking with Mike, Evil's Comics, it's a way to trim down the collection, but also to celebrate the community and kind of build the channel. So yeah. K-pop in the chat. What's up, K-pop? We've been doing some wrestling talk. We're talking about Elimination Chamber. I saw you in Russ's stream. Hope you enjoyed that show. Yep, since 1988 I started watching. Okay, so you saw the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye. I don't even know how long he played, but I was watching some highlights of it recently. Just, man, that's some amazing running. And so you did get to see Derek Thomas. Just probably, I mean, I know everybody's all about LT, but I think Derek Thomas, because I saw LT at the later end of his career, I think Derek Thomas is the greatest defensive player I've ever seen play. Just, man alive. Real sad. How he met his demise, accident and whatnot. But yeah, K-pop. Everybody telling everybody hello, love it, love it, love it. Kenneth, hey man, good to see you. Love it. So I'm seeing a lot of new names in my chats recently, and man, it's awesome. It's awesome because kind of growing, getting some new eyeballs on my channel. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys showing up. Love the support. In my Instagram, the big gold belt was the one I bought. The Cena belt was someone else's who let me post with it. Okay, awesome. That Cena belt was impressive. The only time I've seen the Cena belt is right after WrestleMania 25. So I went to WrestleMania 25. It was in Houston. The Thursday before WrestleMania 25, I went to the Fan Access. I believe it was the first night of the Fan Access. And went with my cousin. And we went by this booth. The Fan Access was cool. You could do this entrance. You can meet wrestlers. My cousin ticked off Shelton Benjamin because when we were in line with Shelton Benjamin, we got up on the stage to get Shelton Benjamin's autograph. And my cousin goes ahead and yells that ain't nobody, or whatever it said, that ain't nobody stopping me now, or whatever it was. And just the ugly look that Shelton Benjamin gave my cousin, uh, kind of turned Sheldon Benjamin off, or turned our fandom off for him. But at that access, you could sign a little thing and be entered into a drawing to win an autographed copy of John Cena's belt. Me and my cousin looked at each other like, we won't win. So we didn't enter it. And that was a mistake, because when I got home a few weeks later, I'll say an acquaintance. It's a friend of a friend, a satellite friend. It's not he wasn't my friend, but he was a friend of mine. We've had conversations about wrestling and stuff like that. Andy, it used to be called Catitude. A guy from my same hometown, small rinky-dink hometown, was the winner of that John Cena autographed belt. And so that's the only time I've ever held the spinner belt in my hand. Only time I've ever seen it up close. That thing was huge. Yeah, and he was excited about it. He wasn't necessarily the biggest John Cena fan, but as he put it when he was telling me about it, is that he had the Hulk Hogan of our era, of our generation's autograph on his belt. So pretty cool. Bottom tier, big gold Flair belt, NWA 10 pounds of gold, AEW belt, and Mick Foley's trash hardcore title. Those are my top favorite belts in terms of how they look. That hardcore title, I don't know how it, sorry, I got some, how it managed to stay together. But who doesn't appreciate a belt held together by duct tape and, or athletic tape? So, almost put K-pop in timeout. That was not going to be intentional. Hitting the wrong buttons. I'm terrible with a laptop. I prefer desktops all day. RBD has a YouTube channel. Dude's hilarious. Loves his smokes. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Didn't he have a did he run his own comic book store also? Or did he have to shut that down? K-pop waiting through the crowd. Waiting through the crowd to get to the ring. I love all the references. Like, what was it? Lady Prime was making her way to. Oh no, Neil was making his way to the ring earlier, and the chair shots. Those were some chair shots to my nether regions. I'm a 49ers and Bulls fan, always have been. I had to choose a team because Kentucky doesn't have an NFL team or an NBA team, although at least we have one of the best college basketball programs. Yeah. I'm not a big Kentucky fan because they have defeated some of the teams I was going for in the tournament, and they've definitely ruined my bracket quite a few times. But yeah, man, one of the best college basketball teams of all time. So yeah, spectacular. 49ers and Bulls fans. I'm a 49ers hater. Well, not necessarily as much anymore. Definitely in the 90s, it was fun to be a 49ers hater. Just so part of my fandom, I have my team, but I also have my teams I hate. So there was a period of time where I hated the Hurricanes and I hated Florida State. And then I found out how much I loved to hate them. And so I would root for them to come back so that I could hate them all over again. But the 49ers in the 90s, that Cowboys 49ers rivalry, which is kind of kicking up again. It's just, oh man, the Cowboys have burnt me so much lately that I can't really get into that rivalry. Yeah. Alex Bidblue, you hurt my heart. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. Man, it would be awesome. Yeah, Detroit basketball. So I was a huge fan of Detroit smoking the Lakers in that 04 series. No, I can't tell you guys that story. I tell Lady Prime that story. But anyways, definitely one of my favorite finals. I know, game-wise, they weren't competitive games, but that's why I loved it. I love seeing that Lakers team that was trying to buy a championship. They had Malone on that team. They had Gary Payton on that team. They defeated my Spurs with the Derek Fisher shot in Game 5 in San Antonio, which I tell people there was a black cloud over that city the next day. What was it, the 3.4-second shot or whatever it was? That three-point shot that just, man, a dagger in the heart. Tim Duncan hits one all-timer of a shot that you guys don't remember because Derek Fisher hits that shot later on. So I did enjoy the Pistons defeating that Lakers team. They need to bring the 4-on-4 concept back for Survivor Series. Yes, and to give the teams a name. Like, I remember 1990 was my first experience with the Survivor Series, and I remember the Perfect Team versus the Warriors, the Hulkamaniacs versus it was the Heenan family. I can't remember, the Natural Disasters, I think is what they were called. Yes, I'm a fan of the 4-on-4. I'm even a fan of how it was done in 1990. The final match where all the survivors from the heels and the faces met in the final survivor match. I was a fan of that. Detroit, baby. And wasn't it K-pop? Weren't you saying that SummerSlam will be at Ford Field this year? So, and I believe you said you're going. I actually rooted for them in that championship when they had my boy Tayshaun Prince. Now, Tayshaun Prince is that play where he runs, down the court to block. I guess it was the I don't remember who it was on the Pacers, but that Pacers Pistons rivalry, one of my favorite rivalries back then. The Malice in the Palace. I'm all, just awesome stuff. Oh, I'm having so much fun in the chat. I got to be responsible and go to work. This is definitely a replay. I'm putting on the queue. All right, man. Bottom tier. Well, enjoy your day at work. I know how redundant that sounds because I know there are some people who enjoy their work, but yeah, I'm in a period where I do not enjoy work. I still put forth my best effort and I still kill it like nobody else. But if I could be at home doing nothing or on YouTube in the chats, yeah, I'd rather be doing that. Yeah, definitely. Boo work. You bounced from work early. Gotcha. Work is horrible. Yeah. I hope you have a great day, though. Oh, man. There were a lot of thongs happening the other day. Things or thongs happening the other day? That would distract me as I wrestle. Oh, yes, the ladies match. I do remember you said that. Something about the outfits were looking weird. Yeah. Both for Liv. Her facial sold so much. So she's improved a whole lot this past year. I know her title reign kind of gets, people weren't a fan of it, but she's definitely improved a whole lot. So yeah. I went in, got home early today. Oh, awesome. Carmella, even dressed like that, Mela is trash. And that's what I said in Super Russ's live stream. I said, I don't know what it is about Mela. She's like, she looks so trashy, but like that does something to this man's heart. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I did say earlier that some and this is gonna make me get in trouble again. Something about Carmella reminds me of a younger Lady Prime. A lot of her facials remind me of that. But I don't know, man. Kyle, what's up? Wheelchair Trooper here. A wheelchair. Man, that's my Hispanic side showing where my chairs. Wheelchair Superhero 87 showing up in the chat. Awesome. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I know it may not look like it, but there's some brown pride in this in this kid here. So sometimes my chairs are a little hard, and sometimes my chairs are share with an S. I don't know. It does hit me. And my cereals sometimes come out with an S. It's just a Hispanic thing. I don't know. One thing I do not do that a lot of Hispanics I know do is cereal. And this is a thing that Lady Prime points out, and she can't stand it. For whatever reason, cereal is cereals with an S at the end. I don't know why that is. I've met so many people where cereal ends with an S. These are some highly educated people, whether that's book smart, street smart, but they end their cereal with an S, and I don't know why. And my this is another thing, and I don't know why I'm sharing this. This is a too much information type thing. But my grandmother, love her. But we used to argue when I was a kid because spaghetti was S spaghetti, and thunder was thunder. Don't know why. I was a bastard grandson. And I'd be like, no, it's thunder. What are you talking about? It's thunder. And it's just spaghetti. It doesn't need an S before it. And I love that lady. She's still around and kicking it. She slowed down a little bit these past few years. In fact, she recently fell and broke her wrist. But shout out to Momo Artie, as my cousin Jesse calls her. Love that lady. Love that lady despite all the headaches and anger I felt in my younger years. Me and my cousin used to work at a snow cone stand. It was my grandfather's snow cone stand. And when she would show up and pull up, we are like, oh, man, the law is showing up. So love that lady. Derek Thomas has the fastest step I've ever seen. R.I.P. Yeah, man. He could get off that. Yeah. Trev, I forgot my blah. Trying to eat in chat. Multitasking as well. Awesome. I like how Edge put the rated R logo on it, and they should have added stains. A wheelchair superhero. How is everybody? I'm doing great. I'm a little tired. I didn't get sleep before the stream today. And I don't know why I picked 105 as the time. I guess because last week when I did it at 105, which last week was just hey, I'm going to do one at the last minute. Lady Prime saying I needed to get in there and do a stream. It was one of my busier streams, one of the ones with a great chat. So I was like, dude, I got to capitalize on it. So I guess that's why I'm going at 105. I did not sleep today. I get off of work at 7 in the morning Central Time. And normally I come home and I crash out. But today's a holiday, federal holiday, whatever. So Lady Prime's not at work. Ollie got off of school. And so my routine was just thrown off and I didn't get any sleep. I dozed off for like 10 minutes on the living room floor. Lady Prime said I needed to get up because it was time to clean. I don't know why. For whatever reason, when I'm that exhausted, sleeping on the floor just does it for me. And I'll climb into bed and won't fall asleep. But if I'm on the floor, I will crash out. I met Al Snow once and held the hardcore championship. That was heavy. Wow. That's awesome. Would it be the first time? I'm not. I'm guessing that was to Trev. KU baby, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. So I am a Kansas football fan. I'm not necessarily a Kansas basketball fan, although I do root for them. If they're one of the teams I generally pull for in the NCAA tournament. I'm not a Kansas hater. I do try to root for the Longhorns, but the Longhorns, they're in the same boat with the Cowboys. Nothing but disappointment, especially their basketball team. We are destined for a first or second round exit this year. I don't care how good the polls say we are. But Kansas football, I will go out of my way to catch Kansas football games, even when they were like 2-12. I mean, I'm sorry, 2-10. Can you be just a fan of a program's football team and not cheering on any of their sports? I was a big fan when Mark Mangino got there, just to see them build that team up. Was a huge fan of that Orange Bowl winning team. That game with Missouri, where it was basically the Big 12 North title was on the line. Kansas undefeated. Really, really went for them. They got down early. They staged a late comeback, but it was too late. So I've met quite a few wrestlers over the years, though. If I ever met Cena, I'd dog him for playing a pretend Marine. So I had a friend, or not a friend, a coworker at one point, really excited to see the Marine. She's like, man, that movie looks so good. Then he found out John Cena was a wrestler. He's like, oh, I don't want to see it now. It's got a wrestler in it, fake wrestler. So I don't know. Wheelchair superhero, yo. Oh, I'm sorry, Swish Rips. Yeah, tell him wheelchair superhero what's good. Awesome. Remember that shot? That was the best. Got a Derek Fisher final game used jersey card if you want it. Man, how far behind am I in the chat, guys? I apologize, man. Tickets go on sale in April. That's for the SummerSlam. Awesome. Doing nothing is for sure. Thongs in the outfits, yes. Got to mute. Okay. I've been friends with many of Pacer players over the years, especially Dell Davis. Oh, awesome. And not just your heart, sir. Hey, I guess she's talking about Carmella. Man alive, guys. I'm sorry I got so behind on the chat. I hope you guys don't mind me skipping ahead. You You guys are fantastic, though. Thanks everybody for being here. It is awesome. I appreciate it. We're looking at 215, 216. Ah, man. Cereals is when I people say idea instead of idea. Oh, idea. I got an idea. What's that all about? I don't know. I don't know. Comic journey. Let's go back to the Spanglish to English translations. Oh man. My grandmother. So she tried to teach me Spanish when I was younger, and she would try to tell me that Spanish was the most beautiful language in the world. Dude, I wasn't having it. I was a terrible kid. Um, and and she's getting older in age, and I know I'm going to be asked to speak at her funeral because I'm a pretty decent public speaker. And so I began to compile some stories that I'm going to share. And she tried to teach me Spanish at one point, and so and the one word I remember is manzana. She was trying to teach me manzana, and I was like, no, that's an apple. That's not manzana. That's an apple. And bless her heart, she continued to try to teach me Spanish, but I just would not, would not pick it up. And man, but like I said, love that lady. I was looking through some stuff recently, going through a lot of stuff I collected from my period when I lived in San Antonio. And within the first month there, she wrote me this letter, and I never responded to that letter, never wrote her back. I know I visited all the time. Anytime I was down home, I was visiting her, and it was a 2-hour drive. So I was there often. And I responded to the letter, talking to her, and just went over, whatever she was asking me. But like looking back, like that was definitely something I should have, there's something to writing a letter, especially for those people in that time period. Email wasn't a thing, and writing a letter was a very personal experience. And so I should have done that. 63 years old. I'm 42. I've begun to feel my mortality. And I think that's because the job I work is a very physically demanding job. And knees and bad back. I will go through, I injured myself a few years ago, and now I'll tweak my back and I'll be crooked for about a week. And I've got to do exercises and some stuff to stretching myself out. What I need to do is see a chiropractor, but no, I didn't learn that one from her. What I did learn to do is how to huck a loogie and spit from her. For whatever reason, I remember her always spitting in her backyard. And when I think about it, we used to play football and wrestle in that backyard a lot. So I don't know if it was intentional. Maybe that's why she was doing that. Are you beginning to feel your mortality lately, or are you also 42? I'm feeling my age catch up with me, and it sucks. Yes, it does. I was not one who got sick much. In fact, allergies used to never bother me until about 8 years ago, 6 years ago, somewhere around that age. If I'm getting allergies, I'm going to get an earache. If I'm not treating it, if I'm not taking my allergy pill, I will get earaches. Man, wait till I hit 45. Is it all downhill from there? Because I feel like ever since I hit 40, it's been going downhill fast. Okay, it's above. Gotcha. Okay, all right. So you know exactly how I feel. 42 in 2 weeks. All right. So I turned 42 at the end of October. So it's a relatively new phenomenon to me. But happy birthday in advance in case I don't run into you in these next 2 weeks. Trev turning 43 in next month. So awesome. Cancer aged me a few decades. Yeah. I can imagine that would do that. It used to crack me up because for the longest time I maintained my weight and my figure from high school. I couldn't put any weight on, and so everybody would see me and they'd tell me, "Oh, you don't look like you've aged at all. You don't look like you've aged at all." And I pointed out on Facebook, this is a few years ago, that I found my first white hair, and it was in my nose. So, and everybody's mad because theirs is on their facial hair, theirs is on their hair. I've begun to show some white hairs, gray hairs on my beard and mustache, but that's all right. That just speaks to experience. Full head of hair, still pretty good, but I know that there is some baldness that runs in my family. on my mother's side. When that happens, I will full on shave my head. I have generally wore a buzz cut most of the time. But while I still have a full head of hair, I do want to try to grow my hair out one last time. I've only done it one other time, and I see pictures of that, and I really, really miss it. So we're gonna try that again. Sure, yeah, definitely. You guys got to put together a birthday stream. At 45, all your parts start to hurt simultaneously. Oh man, oh, I don't want that. I'm a little worried about that. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. I hate to do so because the chat is definitely lively. The chat has been fun, man, and I appreciate it so much because I've seen a lot of new names recently. Comic Journey is a new name I've seen. I saw where he subbed. One of the few sub notifications I've got, and I've always seen Comic Journey in Brian's chats and everything. And I was a little intimidated by it. I was like, "Oh man, this is an OG here, like and I don't know how he's going to respond to my content." And the first comment he put was that, oh man, I think it was a comic haul I did, and he said it needed more cowbell, and that comment put me completely at ease because I was like, you know what, this video did need some more cowbell. So, uh, so man, the intimidation went completely away. So I was appreciative of that. Shave your head to make things easier. I've done that. I'm like bottom tier. He said it a few in my chat a few streams back, or he said it in one of his videos. I am a wake up at the last possible minute kind of guy, and I get to wear a hat to work now. But when I didn't, I was like, you know what, I'm shaving my head. When they didn't let me wear a hat, I'm shaving my head because it's just one extra step to get my hair ready that I did not like. Weight makes a big difference. If you maintain your weight, you'll have a few less painful years. Yeah, and I've noticed that I am putting on weight, um, and I couldn't for the longest time. So it's just like my metabolism, with age is not the same as it used to be. I need to, and I'm really active, so I know it's not like a walking thing and stuff like that. It is a diet thing. I need to cut sodas for sure and just add water to my diet. I need to definitely change what I'm eating. But yeah, Shavers will never look back. Yeah, and when I start losing it, it's definitely going away. Kyle, letting the chat know to hit that like button, man. I appreciate it. You guys call for that stuff more than I do. I've never really done the hit the like button, hit the subscribe. The only thing I've ever really asked for is comments because I just love the engagement. But I am always appreciative of your likes, always appreciative of your subs. Means the world to me, especially because, like I said, I'm doing this with the family now, with Lady Prime and Ollie. I feel like anytime you guys are subbing or liking or commenting, it's just another way of you guys showing them the love, and that's really all I care about. If they get the love, the friendships is what obviously what I like, and the engagement. But yeah, appreciate that. I went out and celebrated when I finally got over 200 pounds, being wiry for so long. Yeah, you posted some younger pictures of you on Instagram, and I kind of relate to that. Just being I'm not saying that I've put on a whole bunch of weight lately, but for the longest time, man, I was skin and bones, and like it. I don't want to say I was self-conscious about it, but I did want to put on some muscle mass at some point, and so it took me quite a few years to do that. Journey is the dude. Yeah, I'm definitely learning that. It's my fault. CJ's here. No, man. No, dude. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to buy a cowbell now so that I can start a cowbell. I don't know what that was. I'm going to buy a cowbell so that I make sure that I keep that up. He hasn't seen his Insomniac channel review. I working overnights. My late night stuff, it's bad. Like I'm not able to. I'll pop in on a lot of otakus and bookworms streams when they're at night. I'm just because I got my headphone in and listening in. But on my Saturdays when I'm off, I usually crash way too early. I can't stand it. But yeah, back and off work now, and I'm just about to leave, David. So you need to pick up and take over the stream. I'll send you the link to the Insomniac review. All right. Well, guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I need to try to get some sleep in. and I probably do need to do some some washing of the dishes before I go to sleep. I gotta eat also. And that's another reason why it's gonna be so hard for me to go to sleep, because I'm gonna eat a late lunch. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for making the stream fun. You guys definitely make it fun. Oh, let me highlight this, guys. Wheelchair Superhero 87 going live tomorrow. Kyle will be going live tomorrow, so definitely, guys, if you can hit that up. I will try, but like I said, I'm usually asleep when most people are living their normal lives. I do not have a normal human schedule. I hate that, but it is what it is. Oh man, I didn't know you were still here. Just Your Average Geeks, awesome, man. I appreciate you jumping in, dude. I appreciate you showing up, dude. It means the world to me. Like I said, there's been a lot of new names showing up in the chat. I definitely appreciate it. Kenneth showed up early. I appreciate that. Just Your Average Geek showed up. Comic Journey showing up, from what I know, the first time in my chat, so I appreciate it. A lot of love in the chat, and I want you guys to know love return back onto you guys. I appreciate it. Swish Rips, appreciate it, man. I look forward to continuing to see your stop motion shorts. And anytime you release a video, I know from what I've seen when I jump to check out your videos, they're older, so I don't know if you've put any recent content out. I've got to go back and check that out. But man, appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. And once again, I'm going to end the chat with my new outro. I hope you guys appreciate it. Thank you all.
Video. Say thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Bye.
Say
Bye. See you next time.